What? At High Valley. Chapter 1. 1. Early February 1960s. Turning off the snowy dirt road, navigating over the ruts, avoiding the high pile of snow along the driveway, Bob pulled the VW bus into the garage, shaking his head. That guy. Bastian, Bob murmured to himself. Bastian's actual name? Sebastian Arnold. He was 17? He talked like a sex-starved bully. Bastian had forgotten his second suitcase, so Bob followed him up to the house with it. He saw Bastian put down the other suitcase inside the door and open the door wide with a flourish. Fran stopped in the middle of the doorway, smiling at him, then looked flustered as he said something. Bob could see her face turning deep red as she turned away. Wow. Poor Fran, so young and innocent. The guy was a menace. Bob had a feeling. Bastian could be bad news. First of all, for Fran, maybe for everyone. Bob turned and went down to the barn. He had to check on the horses, or maybe he knew they would calm him down. He climbed over the snow ridge left by the road plows and ducked under the rail gate. It was a little muddy right by the entrance, but when Bob stepped in, he was pleasantly surprised. It was frozen solid, but still looked like mud. The horses had stirred it into a soup, now solid. It wasn't so late in winter, still another month at least. The woods beyond the barn were still completely bare, except for a lone Norway spruce off to the left. Bob pulled open the barn door and went in. It was warm and a little humid, smelling like horses, the hay and their piss and shit. It was a wonderful smell. Tré Jolie came right up to him when he approached his stall, murmured a friendly neigh. Bob scooped some horse feed into a bucket and poured it into Jolie's trough. Jolie nodded his head and bent to the feed. The sound of his big teeth chomping and grinding was soothing. Then the grinding paused. Jolie's velvet nose nuzzled his hand. What a good horse. Jolie knew what he was feeling. He was comforting him. About that guy, Bastian. He hadn't been able to shake it, that chill. Until now. Yeah, that guy, Bastian. He shook his head and looked around him, took a deep breath of the barn humid air. Bob loved the smell of unpainted wood, too. He had to clean the stable every day. Some of the kids, especially some of the girls, often helped. They wanted to be near the horses. Or maybe to him. Oi. He did always seem to have girls clustering around him. He knew why, but their attention didn't give him much pleasure. Maybe that's why Bastian really bothered him. Bastian opened the door for the cute girl on the other side of it. He made it a grand gesture, punctuated by a friendly, slightly seductive smile, saying, I'm Bastian. I just got here today. Couldn't help but notice you. Oh, thank you. She looked charmed. Then she was blushing. I'm Frances, actually from France. Yeah? My mother plays in As the World Turns. She's played there in France. I mean, by the Eiffel Tower. She's Penny Hughes. Oh, Frances was impressed. I seen her on TV. That's her. She's busy, so that's why I'm here. And, Dad, he's working all the time. As a bankrupt, he didn't say. His father was working overtime, scooping up cash for his latest grift, drifting from place to place. So I'll be here, at school, at least until summer vacation. Oh yeah, he thought, I'm gonna get in your panties. They have a camp here too, the girl added. In the summer, swimming in the lake, riding, and lurking in the dark, he bet. Sounds great. Everybody stay in the house? Oh no, most of us sleep out in tents. It's much more fun. Even better, he was beginning to imagine. Now he had a reason to play their game, at least for a while. He was pretty sure Mother'd send him to camp, especially if he asked. He watched the girl go up the stairs, liked the way she moved. She was cute, and he could tell she liked him. She wasn't conventionally pretty. Bastian prided himself on being a judge of feminine pulchritude, but her big brown eyes, luscious lashes, and her little pug nose were more attractive the more he'd look at her. Definitely a candidate for the Bastian to work his magic. She was still smiling at him as she started up the stairs. When she turned at the top, she waved at him and turned towards one of the girls' rooms. To the right. All the boys' rooms were to the left, he'd been told, except for the one he apparently shared with 2 other boys downstairs. How many girls were there? How many dorks were there? Bastian grinned. all but him.